Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we need to talk about a potentially upcoming nor'easter, believe it or not. It's a little early in the year for a nor'easter, but we are looking at the potential for a nor'easter. Anyways, before I get into things, as always, be sure to destroy the like button and leave a comment down below because those two things help me out so much, and be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think this nor'easter is a sign that maybe we have more nor'easters in our future for the fall and winter months, or do you think it's going to be a relatively lower nor'easter year? Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now let's get straight into this video. We're going to be using our cyclonic relative vorticity to kind of see what's going on here. This is a really good tool actually just for just a generic view of what is going on. And you can see this was actually last night at about 7 p.m. and we can see a lot of energy up there in the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes regions. That is associated with some of that storminess they have been seeing over the past few days. And by the time we reach about this afternoon, which is Saturday, July 31st, you can see a lot of that energy transfers down to Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and even Kentucky there. A lot of these reds and pinks are where there's more and more vorticity in there. Now, by the way, this is cyclonic relative vorticity, and usually we use this to see large-scale rotation. I've mentioned this in a lot of my tropical videos. This isn't looking at like tornadoes or supercells or anything like this. We're looking for very large areas of rotation, which is usually associated with very strong low-pressure centers. Now, as we can see, by the time we reach, I would say approximately 5 a.m. here on Sunday, August 1st. A lot of this energy is now in Virginia and North Carolina, where there's actually a severe weather threat associated with this low pressure center. This is very typical when a nor'easter happens this time of year, which is not very common, by the way, to see some severe weather associated with a storm like this. And basically what we see is a trough moves in at the same exact time. This would be like a winter lover's dream here, because this would pretty much bring a massive snowstorm if we were looking at January and not obviously August. So there's a huge difference there, obviously, but we are seeing a huge trough move in. We could see this because of these lines basically troughing in. That's usually indicating, because that's our 500 millibar heights there. So this is basically indicating a trough. And as you can see, by the time we reach hours, I would say this is approximately 3 p.m. on Sunday, August 1st. We can see that this is evidently a trough, and basically what happens is the jet stream pulls this one up the coast. We can see a lot of those pinks and darker reds located offshore of New Jersey and even southern New England there. I think the worst of the impacts are going to be in the mid-Atlantic. We'll talk about impacts in a bit. But New England, if this one trends a little bit further west, you could be seeing some pretty hefty impacts as well. Although as it stands right now, it's possible that won't happen either. But definitely the areas in the mid-Atlantic and southeast, this one could bring some major impacts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to finish up this vorticity run. We're going to see what happens for New England. And then we're going to look at the simulated radar for this one. We're going to take a look at the total winds, the total rainfall, and even the severe weather threat with this one in just a moment. Alright, now here we are taking a look at our next frame on this cyclonic vorticity, and this one's going to be approximately 11 p.m. on Sunday, August 1st, and as you can see, a lot of that red and pink is going on around southeastern New England, right around Rhode Island and southern Massachusetts. They're a beautiful region of our country, but definitely some stronger storms tend to roll through that area, and this isn't an exception because this storm is rather close with that vorticity. Eventually, this jet stream becomes a lot stronger and pushes this storm further up towards Canada. Now let's take a look at that simulated radar here, and this is around 6 a.m. on Sunday, August 1st, and as you can see, there is some storminess there for Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, maybe even Maryland and DC, even up through the Delmarva as well. But generally, this isn't a very strong storm until we reach about 11 p.m. on Monday here. You can see there is some heavy precipitation well offshore of Long Island and Rhode Island and Massachusetts there, potentially going to impact southern Massachusetts, maybe Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard as well, for sure, obviously, as they are much further out. But this is definitely a strong storm. 997 millibar low pressure center, very early in the season for a nor'easter like this. This is actually a Miller B nor'easter, which there's two types of nor'easters generally, Miller A and Miller B. Miller A nor'easters develop in kind of the, I would say, mostly the central United States, and then they dip down towards the Gulf states or even the Gulf of Mexico, and then they come all the way up the coast from the southeast. Miller Bs come more from the upper Midwest, like we've seen this one do, and then they push through the southeast or the mid-Atlantic and then up up the coast from that point. So they come off the coast much further north than a Miller A. All right. Now, finally, let's go ahead and take a look at a frame here. This is about 6 a.m. on Monday, August 2nd here. And as you can see, we have a 999 millibar low pressure center moving out by that point. So that'll be kind of towards the end of this storm. Now, here is the accumulated maximum wind gust. And as you can see, a lot of the strongest winds are going to be located in the mid-Atlantic. Like I said, we see generally some 30s to 40s there for North Carolina, Virginia, the Delmarva, New Jersey, and even a bit of Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, and southern Massachusetts as well. We even see some 40s plus in there, actually more like 50 plus there in those orange shades for New Jersey and Delaware. Keep in mind, this is just one European model run here, and this could change significantly at any point. But there is some very strong winds that are just offshore. The reds indicating 58 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, and then the browns even 70 mile per hour plus wind gusts. So if this is to just trend a little bit further west, we could be seeing some very damaging winds just on shore, and that would obviously be very bad. So we hope that doesn't happen. Now in a moment, we're going to take a look at the total rainfall map, and then we're going to take a look at that severe weather threat as well. All right, now here we are taking a look at that total rainfall, and if you're anywhere in the grays, you're taking a look at about anything under 0.1 inches of rainfall. So very minimal rainfall in those gray regions. Again, this could change on any given run though. For the light greens, we're taking a look at about, well, 0.1 to half an inch of rainfall in those regions. The blues is half an inch to an inch, and then the kind of yellowish orangish shades is 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. The reds is 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. So we see a lot of those 2 to 4 inch amounts for Maryland, DC, Delaware, and even up through New Jersey, where we see the worst of the winds as well. And then also for Virginia and North Carolina, we're expected to be in that 2 to 3 inch range as well. This is very typical amounts to see from a nor'easter, so this isn't anything crazy, but obviously in general, it is just a lot of rainfall for one storm. Now here's the categorical outlook just for day one. So this is throughout the day today, which again is Saturday, July 31st. And as you can see, we have three marginal risks going on. One there for Wisconsin, one there for Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then one there for South Carolina and North Carolina generally. Now we don't really get started till day two, because on day two, we have two marginal risks. One there for Pennsylvania, New York, not New Jersey, and then one there for Virginia, a tiny bit of Maryland, North Carolina, and South Carolina. We even have a slight risk there for southeastern Virginia, my stomping grounds, and then also eastern North Carolina. There is a tornado threat here, but we'll take a look at that in a second. We have this is our wind outlook. We have a 5% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given location within the two green regions, and a 15% chance there within that yellow region. That is what has brought us up to a slight risk. Now, for the hail outlook, we have two areas of 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location there in the two green regions. Now, for the tornado outlook, we have a 2% chance within 25 miles of a given location of a tornado occurring there for southeastern Virginia and then eastern North Carolina. So these storms could include some tornadic activity. Obviously, a 2% chance seems pretty low, but considering it's a tornado, that's kind of any chance is too high for comfort, really, and you're going to want to be paying attention. Obviously, there has been times where we've seen tornadoes occur outside of the 2% chance region, so if you're even seeing a thunderstorm, you're going to want to be mindful. That's what I've always said. Why not be cautious and just pay attention at least? Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're at a 4 out of 6, not because I don't think there will be a nor'easter, but because we don't really know the location yet. Will it be further out to sea, in which case this would be a much less impactful situation? Still, the areas where it moves out off the coast will see impacts, but then it wouldn't really track up the coast. Or will it stay where it's at? Or will it track closer to the coast, bringing far worse impacts? There's so many different solutions, and that's why I brought up a 4 out of 6 on the confidence tab. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, are you excited for this upcoming winter? And James Marr said, I'm super excited for this upcoming winter. Although I'm more excited for the upcoming fall. And I do love fall as well, so I definitely agree with you there, James. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, John Benbenek, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Lil the Pan, Donna Carnes, alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Coalessa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Flago, Gary, John Colisi, Dwight Phelan, and Steven Cronenthal. If you would like to be a part of this exciting Patreon screen today, you can do so by joining our very awesome Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. I would also like to thank our channel members Hair Farms 1 and Catbite as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button, leave a comment down below, and also subscribe for more weather related content. I will see you guys in the next video.